Okay, this is back. Apparently I have to play like a pleb, not just click this face button, you know? It was a little quiet actually, first time for everything. But what I was saying is it feels like I haven't talked to you guys in forever because I just slept for like 13 hours and I got up into the day. But before that, I went to my doctor, got allergy shots, and then went thrift shopping because I am apparently love to die from allergies, but also because I'm fully vaccinated, I can do that. So I did that, and I bought some really cool stuff. They're actually back there on the floor because even though they don't need to be like quarantined like I normally do or used to do, they're just also very allergeny, and last night I couldn't deal with it, so today I'm like, no allergies, hence I'm here. But I wanted to have it just sit there until I can wash everything off. I bought some pants, but if you got a big booty like I do, pants 99% of the time have what people call it like a butt gap or a lower back gap, where the pants are just so far away from your back they're like almost like the thickest part of your butt. So it's just like, oh yes, I do love having this much of gappage just in the back. But anyways, so we went to the thrift store, obviously masked up, hand sanitized, didn't touch our face, didn't touch things, and you know. But I tried the things on when I got home and stuff, which normally I wouldn't do because of COVID. But and also, you know, the thrift store, so many allergies. But I already had allergies, so who cares? But I got some cool stuff. But one of the things was a tall thing, and it has like a latch on top. And you open like this, right? And you're like, why? Well, you put a wine bottle in it, and I guess it's for decoration and to keep the, maybe for traveling. I don't know. I know some of them are for traveling. So you're like, here's a box, and inside is wine. But I got that because I thought it was so cool looking. But honestly, what do I have that's this shape, like not big and round, and then up the length of a wine bottle? And I can think of two things: a wine bottle and something else. And so I'm like, made a joke like, what if I put scrolls in it? Why would I have scrolls though? I don't have any scrolls, so I don't know what I'm gonna put in it. So if you have anything, hit me up, because like I literally don't know what I'm gonna put in it. But it's such a cool piece. It's so nice. And then I got a shelf for my wall because I think that would be nice. And then I got I got 2 pairs of shorts because I'm like, yes, for like a few dollars, pairs of shorts, love that. Because like at the thrift store you can find pants that like have tags on it, and I'm like, yes. It was just goodwill. But the point is, so I got the 2 pairs of shorts, love them. Same pair of shorts, like clearly donated by the same guy, 2 different colors, love them. Love those shorts. Cargo pants, which have the super big butt gap, and I'm like, but then I got a little, like, you know those, like, when, I don't know how you describe them. For me, I very much associate them with, like, hotel free breakfast where you like open them and they open their lid like slits underneath and there's like all the scrambled eggs inside or like sausages. I got a very tiny version that's like this big, and I guess it's supposed to be for like in your house for like sauces, like gravy to keep warm, but it looks like freaking silver, like it tarnished. So I'm gonna clean it up because we have silver polish. I'll polish him up, make him look sleek. I might put my rings in it or something because I love him. I think it's so cute. But it just reminded me that in The Gay Deceiver, is a movie from '69, I think, in the scene where they're using this laptop, when the gay landlord, when the gay landlord comes over and he's making breakfast for the couple that's pretending to be gay. Anyways, he uses this laptop, not the point. He makes an omelet. I guess it's an omelet. I didn't really see it. It doesn't really emphasize the food. It's like, who cares? That's not the point of the scene. Anyways, and he put it in one of those things, but a big thing, and I'm just like, in the 60s, did people just have that? Did like people just use those things? Because he's like, eat the omelet within the hour when it's still warm, and I'm like, it's eggs. But yeah, of course it's gonna say warm. It's in one of those thingies. Of course it's gonna be warm. And I'm just like, that's not a bad idea. So I don't know enough about typical households in the 60s because they're also extra because like, he's gay. So is it because he's extra? But it wasn't played as it was supposed to be extra. You know, a lot of his like decor and stuff was like, ooh, that's extra. But this wasn't. But anyway, the point is I got that. Got a cool bowl, just like a ceramic bowl. Because again, all these are only a couple bucks, and I'm like, I've been out in a while, and I'm just like, this and this and this, and they're all useful. So I'm not going to use all of it, but I'm just like, ooh, this and this and this. But yeah, what else? Shelf thing. Well, yeah, I guess that's literally all of it. But at checkout, I love this guy. He's so old and he's so slow with doing everything. Like he's rolling up the stuff so it doesn't break, and I'm just like, I could do that. I can do it faster, dude. And like, just give me the newspaper, give me the bowl. I got it. But it's so sweet. And then we're like, it's okay. You don't have to rip the frames that my sibling got. It's fine. And he's like, are you sure? Because if they break. And she's like, yeah, it's fine. Like, are you sure? And I'm like, oh my god. And I'm just like, I'm so out of it at this point. Like, I cannot think. He's like, you heard what they said, right? And I'm just like, what? And he's like, I'm like, I'm not even physically here, dude. But I'm not mentally there. I was physically there. I was just so out of it. Because I got allergy shots and I just touched and just snorted so much allergies. And I'm like, and so today I woke up and I just drank water. My stomach, I guess, we still had allergies because it was like, it felt like I got punched in the gut. It was horrible. And I'm just like, so so that's why I did the, even though I was really extremely tired, last video, technically not yesterday. Well, I mean, it was yesterday in the morning. I didn't sleep yet because I could not handle it. I had to take care of this computer that day because I thought we would do it on the, it was a mess. It was such a mess, and I hope I didn't miss it. Yeah, there's only 3 days. Okay, I'm good. And then, because he was in here, we cleaned up the place, vacuumed and stuff, because he was going to be on the floor with the computer. So I had to wipe down all of this stuff right here, and my headphones, and I used a pillow and a chair, and all of that needed to wipe down, and it was a mess. I did that earlier. Oh, and we're seeing my aunt for her birthday soon. Her birthday passed, but we were gonna visit in a few days, and we're vaccinated. They're all vaccinated. Blah, blah. We haven't seen them in 6 months, so we're like, okay, well, we're all vaccinated. Let's go. Here's the thing. I've been on testosterone for a month. I don't know if what she's expecting me to look like. So I haven't, my voice sounds like hoarser. I wouldn't say deeper, but hoarser for me. But I don't know, but not the point. But like physically, so I'm like, I got a little coarser, but like, no, you can't tell. So I'm wondering where she thinks I'm gonna be at. So I'm scared I'm gonna walk in and she's gonna be like, or she's gonna look at me and like, no, I don't know, you know, where are we at? Because if it was a few more months and like 2 more months on the road, that's when a lot of people's voice start dropping. And a lot of people say like, oh, that's kind of when it starts really hitting. So since we're 1 month in, it's nothing really happening. So I'm kind of intrigued to see where she thinks I am, because I mentioned that to my young cousin, because I told my other aunt and uncle, like, I'm a trans guy, go by these pronouns, blah blah, but I won't look any different. I'm not medically cleared to transition at this time. This was a year ago. Just wanted to let you know that my siblings typically go by this, but since you have young kids, we can essentially pretend like I'm not trans, but I wanted you to know because I didn't want to not give you the option. And they're like, no, go by your preferred name and go by your preferred pronouns. They will get over it. And I'm like, really? So I'm so used to it being the opposite way, where it's like, not the kids. But they're like, no, screw it. The kids are always confused. Kids are confused constantly. Do what you want. And I'm like, they're like, just don't swear. And I'm like, okay, sure, okay. And so what I did is I'm like, to my 10-year-old or 9-year-old cousin, I was like, okay, you know, I know it's confusing for you because you're being told to do this, but I look like this, and I love it because his first sentence to me was like, Basil, and like, I'm just like, oh my god, this kid is so confused, but also ran through all 3, like, not neuro pronouns for me. Love that kid. It's intelligent. And so intelligent. Like, I don't even think he realizes he was so good at that instantly, where he was, I'm just like, what? Like, the fact that people are like, oh, it's going to be too confusing, you can't use they them pronouns. That kid, 9-year-old kid, English as a second freaking language kid, just use they them pronouns without being prompted, by the way. You can do it too. Not the point. Point was that then my uncle was like, just he, and I was like, okay. And we went and we played in the room, but this kid just like was a little confused, but once he mentioned that, it was so interesting because he was boy talking with me, where I was like, yeah, like, you know, Goat Simulator, and I'm like, yeah, I know Goat Simulator. It's like, did you know, like, Goat Simulator isn't just for boys? And I was like, yeah, okay. And it's like, yeah, somebody in my class is a girl, she's saving up money to play Goat Simulator, to buy it, because her parents say it's for boys. And it was so funny to me because I'm like, this kid is like boy talking, like he doesn't seem anything wrong with me being classified as a boy. And later on, he did start mentioning like me have boobies, but because I have boobies, but it was very funny because for 2 weeks or almost 2 weeks, this kid just didn't even mention it. Like, he just like, yeah, you're a boy. But at the end, he started challenging it more. And I kind of want to know what would have happened if I stayed there longer. Like, what he would have started to say. But yeah, when he was talking about that, and he was like, yeah. And this, like, you know, this book, he pulled out, like, survival for boys. It's like, this isn't a survival for boys. It's survival for anyone. Anyone should learn how to do not work. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So he's talking about this, like, gender, like, inequality that's out there. And I'm just like, okay, I did not lead into this. He just started speaking. And I'm like, okay. And I mentioned, if he has any questions, you know, do not be afraid to ask. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, yeah, I have questions about Breath of the Wild. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, Breath of the Wild. Let's go. And we just played Breath of the Wild. He didn't want to talk about my gender because there was no questions there. But there was one question he did have. And I'm like, And he showed me his little amiibos for Breath of the Wild of Link and said, Link could be a girl because the one that he was holding, he flips it up and you see under his tunic, Link's tunic, you see his crotch, and he's like, because there's nothing there. The other one he flipped over because you see this one has something. This one's a boy. I didn't know what to say to that. Yeah, that Link has a bulge and that Link doesn't. Even, especially a little while ago, but even now, Germany is violence is like a no-go, but like nudity is a go ahead. It is very much that kind of society, where America is very the opposite. Like, we're like guns, violence can be in kids and stuff, but like their nudity is okay. Like, there was a iced tea commercial with just a topless woman like on the beach, maybe even running, and like, yeah, that's totally fine. But like, killing a guy or hitting a guy over the head with a bat, no. And it was so funny to me that he's showing me these Link dolls with bulges and not bulges.